I remember I was in the hospital after this bad car accident, and I don't know for what reason, I went into a lot of hallucinatory states. There would be a light above the door that entered the hospital room, and they had one of those plastic, like rippled pieces, does not make it so bright, but I would look there, and then I'd go into another world, so to speak, where I found out I could fly and all of this stuff, but I was always pictured as a body. Yeah. Now, probably what was really happening was that feeling of being all there is everywhere, but the mental state can only hold you or think about you or dream about you as a body. Yeah. If you look at all the dreams, you're all the bodies that appear supposedly, but they're populated with bodies. Yeah? So the format of the mental state is very strongly rooted in the idea of being a body or having a body or being in a body. But the body, we think it plays a real important part, but it actually is a much more important player, because all the feelings are attributed to the body. Yeah? The feelings are influenced by the body reference. Thoughts are influenced by the body reference. So like we treat thoughts like we would in action. Action happens and we think how we did it as a body. So then we see the action of thoughts and it's just assumed that the body's doing it. Like somehow, just like I would, the body threw that ball, well, my body's been thinking all day. And this reference, this stubbornness of being identified as a body, basically is the whole flavor of the dreaming. Yeah? Without that, there wouldn't be this dream, the way it's dreaming. Yeah? The body is the main reference. So we dream of things as a thing. Yeah. And the thought system. There was a lovely old song I was just listening to this morning, an old Shriekback song, and it says this like complete whatever is beyond our measuring. Yeah. So in a way, when we attempt to look for what the truth is or the oneness is, it's beyond our measuring, because we're looking at it from a fixed reference already. Yeah. There is already the mind, the virtue or the raw mind isn't available in a sense. It's been stamped or like cookie cutted or formulated by a reference, a body reference. So when I think about the truth, I think about the truth in relation to me as a body. When I think about enlightenment, I think I'm going to be enlightened as a body, in a sense. I'm going to be there, and then enlightenment is going to be happen, or I'm going to get it. And usually the way it's very difficult to think about anything other than with the body influence in it, So it's usually like doing and having becomes the basic way we see things coming to pass here. So that's why, in a way, how can you see what already is if you believe there's already what there is? You can't wait to see it. Yeah? It's not going to appear as you would want it to appear so that you could measure it, so that you could fit it with an idea. It's prior to it all. And so the approach of no approach is go no further as the reference, but turn the attention and the interest on the reference and see if it's so or not. See if the fixed point of the square one of the game board is actually square one. And if it isn't, the game board will suddenly reveal a whole new game, because it's the square the mind is on that's giving it the meaning. Yeah. So when the mind is on the square of being a body and of a separate thing that can be hurt and may not get what it wants and has to worry about what it has so it won't lose it, all like this, all of that sets out the formulation of the game, and then we have these mental ways of measuring it. Like how successful am I, or how I'm doing. I'm feeling all right, or this or that or that or this or this or that. But they're always seemingly. There's this giant pale over it all, this overreaching reference of being a body. Yeah. So this idea is to see, look there, to see if that's so. Because if it isn't so, all bets are off. Yeah. Then it doesn't mean that something suddenly becomes so to that, because you've already, now the negation of that has occurred. So something doesn't become so. Something is so already. So there's a discovery, not of something's new, but what's always been there, as us, but not formulated the way we've been formulated as a mental idea, which is idea of being a thing, a body. So a thing, if you look at it from afar, a thing trying to become a no thing is totally ridiculous if you're not a thing. So if you're not a thing, all these noble endeavors to become less of a thing or to become no thing, but how the no thingness is going to be held as an object, so that the thingness can measure it. How am I doing in my becoming a no thing as a thing? You don't see the failed mechanism? And it doesn't matter. There's no exceptions. You're not the one special thing is going to unthing itself out of thingness. It's just not going to happen. You just see you're not that which is taking itself to be a thing. Then all bets are off, and then suddenly all your measuring tools and all your measuring sticks have absolutely no point. They don't measure or capture anything. And so there's a relinquishment of the gauges of knowing and of understanding and of having and of achieving and of attaining and of being vigilant around what I've attained, because I know if I've attained it, I can do something to lose it. All that stuff starts weakening. It doesn't even disappear. It's sort of like something that was fluid was made to seem solid, and then it just turns back into drippiness. It just drips down. On what? From the base of consciousness, the screen, the seeing, and the reflection of the seeing. Then what happens? You find out what it's like to be free, not as a thing, but from a thing. You find out what it's like to have serenity. What it's like to have serenity is you can never have serenity. That's what it's like. So the pressure's off. Or what it's like to have peace is there's no having of peace. Woo! The pressure is off. Because it's the pressure of trying to get a thing that's actually reinforcing the sense of being a thing. So when I'm trying to get the truth, it's just reference, it's just being used to mirror the thing that's trying to get the truth. That's the falsehood. It's not the falsehood just hasn't found the truth, it's falsehood. You can give it tons of truth. It's not going to change the fact that it's falsehood. You have to look at the falsehood. And you can't look at it because it's not there. So after a while of trying to look at it and not seeing a damn thing, you realize what's not seeing a damn thing is all there is. Not seeing a damn thing is all there is. It's always been not seeing a damn thing. It may take a while because you're stubbornly, the mental state, I'm telling you, give it one thing. In time, it exudes one quality, which is stubbornness. As long as it seems to be in time, it can keep stubbornly reinserting itself. So maybe when you finally see your original face, like in Zen, there is no face. So you're seeing your original face all day, but you're not recognizing it because you expect to see something. It's one day when the expecting to see something drops, you'll see it. You've been seeing it all the while. You've been seeing it and of it and from it and as it all the while, like nothing had ever disturbed it. It was just this little mental rumba we were doing, this mental cha-cha-cha. But in fact, all there was is your original face isn't a face. You've been looking out it all day. Every time you look in the mirror, you don't see it because you see a physical thing. You're missing it. The more you look and use everything in this place as a mirror, you're never going to get a true reflection because it doesn't cast a reflection. It has no shadow. It's not a thing. It doesn't leave any trail. It didn't go from here and got there. You can't go, I found the map of 8,000 years ago when no thing took the arduous journey to no thingness. There ain't no map. No thing doesn't journey anywhere. It's everywhere. No thing isn't somewhere where it could possibly be lost, and especially of itself, and then have to take an arduous journey to find itself. You can save a lot of time right now. It's the gauges that are producing this thing that has to be measured. There's no thing that has to be measured. It's not a thing. But our reassertion of relevance is we want to get our gauges to pick it up. I want to be there to get it. It's a typical stubborn habit of the mental state coming to meetings like this. People are they'll be damned if they're not going to get it. You know, they go to 500 satsangs. A satsang is meant to give a message and then support that message. You're not going to get anything. So the more you don't get anything, it's not going to add up to anything. I come here because the space becomes obvious when you're walking around in maybe a Kmart and someone's talking. It may not seem so obvious to you. So satsang produces a really nice place to stay in the familiarity of that, yeah? But the vehicle of satsang is just information. It's just a message that you're what you're looking for. Yeah? You can't be more of what you're looking for. You can't. No matter how fine-tuned you get the looking, it's not going to be produced more of what you are to look for it. It's not. Because it's not a quantity. It can't be measured. It can't be embraced. It can't be melted into. It can't be, merged with. There can't be the divine union. There ain't no union in divinity. This is our head sometimes, rush into the meditation practice. We're totally in anxiety because we believe, but I'm going there to get peace. What an insane idea. You're auctioning off peace right now to get it later. See, they really want to get there. It must be a big pumbaa.
They're trying to get the spirit out.
Okay, we see you. We recognize you as someone who wants to know the truth. But it doesn't mean a damn fucking thing, except to another someone.
People in the flatbed trucks waving. Their screamers coming.
They're coming to the talk. This is how I should be heralded. This should have happened at 11 o'clock, not 11:30. I'm already here. Yeah.
Can we tell stories, or is it just you?
What? It's just
Wave a sign up there.
come here. Find out what you've been so busy looking for. You're going to be terribly disappointed. What? Oh yeah. That's the biggest thing we're concerned about, is really finding what's happening. Because we'd be extremely disappointed is what we're not. Because it has absolutely nothing to do with you and all the mechanisms that the you has a lot to do with. None. Not at all. Always available at all times, right where you are, no matter what you think you're feeling, or what you did, or what you think someone did to you. All of these are like imaginary inches, mental inches, that we try to move from everywhere as a somewhere. Yeah? And then we suffer the pangs of being separate from everywhere, and it's just a dream. Yeah? I did this, therefore I'm really in fucked up shape today. Your emotions may be, your body may be, your mental state may be, but what you are ain't. Oh, well, I'm having a big operation next week. Your body may be, your emotions may be affected, your mental state, but what you are can't be cut up. It's not going to heal. Yeah. It doesn't play this game at all. It has no idea this is fucking going on. It isn't going on. It's a freaking mental dream. Dreaming away as if there's time and space and relevance and significance, and what it's going to be like later is based on what we do now. never on the beingness of the state of all there is, but on what we do as this little separate, insignificant grain of sand, how we're going to be the one that's going to beckon the wave a certain way. And you know what? The way we do is going to save all the other granules. It's always this giant magnus opus, huge story of my breakthrough to the oneness. It can sell books, and you'll get tons of people to see you. You will. And then you can give them something to do, and they'll do it religiously. All the while thinking they're moving towards, closer to something they could never possibly ever move away from. This is just as much easier, softer way. If there was like the 4 schools of Buddhism would be meditating, standing, sitting, laying down. I'd be in the laying down school. Just horizontal relaxation. Give up the vigilance. If this isn't you, the Urban Renewal Project can be called off. No more Bechtel uprisings or high risings going on, and uprisings also. All that. It'll all be just closed down because of lack of interest. No stockholders will be funneling more money into it. You'll just be, the body now can go ahead, go its own way, so to speak. It's not going to be, this is the tool for me to realize spirituality. The body's never going to be the tool to realize spirituality. It's just seeing, no, the body is great, it's not great, whatever it is, but it ain't you. Yeah. Watch, see every dream you have at night. Isn't it of bodies? As a body, even if you picture yourself as a wolf, the memory is you're not the wolf. You're Paul as his body, dreaming it's a wolf dream body. But it's the referencing to the body is very, very stubbornly in place in the mechanism of this dreaming, of time and space. There has to be space for a body to appear in, and for the body to have any relevance by acting and doing things, it would have to have time to do it. They're all in cahoots. It's mind dreaming. The body, time, and space are just 3 different streams of the mental dreaming. One can't be there without the other. Without time, there'd be no space. Without space, there'd be no time. And without a body, there would be nothing that time and space could affect. My friend brought me a great reading, and we say it in the same exact thing in a different way, which is self has no ability. It is not self-generated. It doesn't have its own source of power. So for self to seem to be so right now, because it isn't so the next best thing it can come up with is, I can seem to be so. Yeah? And how does it seem to be so? It has to be remembered. There has to be the ingredient of time, or there would be no self. If you didn't think about you as a body, or if your head didn't think about you in the past as a body, you wouldn't remember yourself as a body now. And if your head didn't think about you as a body in the future and what could possibly happen to you, it's just another form of remembering. Yeah? Then there wouldn't be a feeling of being you as a body now. It has to have time for self to be remembered. That's why when you're in the oneness, or you have an event or a phenomenal event of being totally absorbed in what you're doing, like surfing or sex or counting money or whatever it may be that works for you, or watching your stocks go up, there's a point where you're not remembering self. Your interest and attention, the mental state still wants to, but your interest and attention is what's happening now sufficiently enough to give it immunity to there and then. So those are the greatest moments you have. You go, fuck, I was in the zone, I was this and that. And then you want to get back there by what was absent in that event, which is you as a self. So now the self wants to get the experience of being in the zone, but it's forbidden to it. Once it enters the zone, that's not the zone you were looking for, because its false presence is now permeating the space. It's all about you. Oh, I got in a relationship. It's usually all about you. You know, job, all about you. You know, we're at the workout, all about you. At the yoga studio, all about you. Oh, the teacher looked at me today, all about you. Yeah. So we fill up the space so that we don't sense what really the space is, which is absence of a thing. That's what we are. We're the absence of a thing. Does that mean the thing has to be killed or exiled? No. It's appearing in the absence of thingness. The thing as a body is appearing. The thoughts are appearing. Feelings are appearing in the absence of thingness. What's the problem? The only problem is to the thingness. This will be a great talk, eh? We're going to have this. Usually on Wednesdays we have fucking speaking in tongues by the Chinese evangelists in the city. Now we have this. It's great. Don't you get the choreography? Do you think this is just a one little thing going on? It's being produced, the whole event. Yeah! Let's just let that, it's all for you. Let it soak in. They're beeping all for you. All of what you're not. Huh? Yeah, they finally got it. They've been lost and they're slowly getting their GPS, their God positional system is go to Dunview Avenue, Marin City. That's where it's happening. What? That fucking talk? Oh yes. Come. Helicopters. The birds are lined up. Look at them. They're coming. Here's one right now. The crow. Yeah, he knows already. See him? He went to tell the people, "Shut the fuck up. Come over here." There's his brother going. Yes. The message. See, they're carrying the message. There's two over there. I'm sending them to fucking San Francisco. I think we'll keep it short today. This isn't about beating a dead horse either. You don't get it more by spending more time trying to get it. It can open you up, but the message is not of time. Ding! And when it dawns on it, it's not of time. And that's the flavor you get, because we've been in this sort of river of time so long. When there's a timeless insertion in it, you get it. It's like a peculiar fish among the school of fish. Yeah? And that's what we need. We have to, hopefully something will initiate a remembering or a recollecting of what it's like out of time. Yeah? And realize that right now in time, we are that which is out of time. Yeah? We are that which is appearing as time, and we're also that which seems to be out of time. So maybe a little out of timeness will start influencing all the time you seem to be in here. And that's what we're looking for. We want an out of time experience in time. We want to have that love of all loves with that person. We want to have that wave of all waves. We want to have that delicious dessert of all desserts that will just stop the time, the time carousel, and we can have a sense of being off it. How about having the sense of being off it while you seem to be appearing on it? Take it out of the experiential level, because experiential level makes you a beggar of your own nature. You start begging to have an experience of what you are, to have it paled down, to have it distilled down to an experience, something that can be managed by your mental state because it's coming and going. No matter how wonderful the experience is, what effect does it have? It comes and goes. Yeah. But maybe you'll get weaned off the experiential level. Yeah. All the amusements, everything can keep on keeping on, but you'll be resting in what's not appearing as that. Yes? It's wonderful. This is like one of the better ones. Maybe because it's you. It's you. We're fighting off. All these Bechtel entities are coming.
What is you? You're talking about you and you and you.
We're just using you as a term. You want to change the language?
you want.
Yeah, exactly. So where am I going to go? Yes. Someone once I met in early days, they wanted to change the language. I said, fucking good luck, you know. It's a subjective language used by objects. That's what it is. We're talking as if we're something that we're not. But it's a difficult thing to have, unless you want to just sit in quiet all day.
So there's a you, you're talking about you, that's like...
The body.
If I'm talking about me, is it separate from you and everybody else here? Are we all separate little yous?
No, we're not. But we're appearing to be separate yous. And then that separate you right there thinks it's a very special you. It's called me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. We always are pointing. We're never pointing at what we're not. We're constantly pointing at what we appear to be, because that's what you need the truth about. If you see what's so isn't so, you'll be what you are. It'll download. You'll find out what you are. Well, a lot of us are trying to get to what we are from the false point. We're questioning the false point. You don't have to go any farther than that. Just negate the assumption that you're the subject as a body, and then find out what happens. And we just keep doing it every year, year after year, because there's no other point to go anywhere else unless that's clear. Because if it isn't clear, somehow or another, your life will be interpreted, constructed as a body. Check it out. I've seen it. Yeah, that's what happens. So without a clarity, see, this is if from what you're not, there's this need for tons of movement, either away or towards something. Yeah? But realizing you're not that, it takes away all need for any movement. You are exactly what you're looking for right now. Exactly. Always available at all times with no requirement necessary to meet it, because you are it. You don't need to be invited to it or to be introduced to it. You are that. You are so past, you are so prior to how we think of ourselves. So, if you have faith in the thoughts, you're going to be taken as a body. It's as simple as that. Because the thought system pictures you as a body. It does not picture you as anything other than a body. When you listen to the thoughts in one's head, there's the holographic image of you as a historical figure comes up. And the mind identifies with that, falls for the interpretation, and stops living. Now it's living an interpretation, which ain't much living to me. To me, it's like a form of slavery. This is just seeing that. The freedom is right prior to all the bondage. It's not after the bondage. It's prior to it. This could never have fucking happened. So there you go. That's it for today.